The topic of which time to be a Pokemon fan is subjective and relatively based on the bias depending on who you ask. Some might say it's the first generation, as that was when Pokemon first popped off. Others may say any game prior to the 3D models. But what are those time periods? What are the eras of Pokemon? To figure this out, I split the eras into 4 different categories. The Classical Era. This era first began with the release of Pokemon Red and Blue in 1998 and ended in 2006 with Diamond and Pearl in Japan. I am aware Red and Green started in 96, but here in the West is where Pokemon truly got its popularity. Diamond and Pearl released in 2007 in the US, but so many fans were inclined to play a new Pokemon game with a more powerful hardware in the DS.
The Golden/DS era. This ranged from the release of Diamond and Pearl in Japan in 2006 to the release of XY worldwide in 2013. This is what most fans consider the best time for Pokemon, as the 3 most popular Pokemon games were released, that being Pokemon Platinum, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. Even the existence of the quote-unquote Pokeverse was starting to develop around this era. The Declining Era. This ranges from the release of XY in 2013 to the release of Sword and Shield in 2019. This is definitely the most controversial era so far, with games like X and Y, the Ultra games, being one of the few outliers. This is where universal opinions of Pokemon games were no more, rather people debating which game is good and which game is not. The end of the era also had the infamous Dexit controversy prior to the release of Sword and Shield. This era also influenced us in a lot of ways too.
The Experimental Era. This era takes place beginning with the release of Sword and Shield in 2019 up until the very present. By the time I make this video, Scarlet and Violet isn't released yet, but I can tell by the time those games release, it'll be a part of this era. This era also had some lows, but also had its highs as well. This era is the most well known for not having every single Pokemon in the Pokemon game anymore, and the growing distaste of a certain Pokemon. But folks, that's all for now. Make sure to subscribe to see where I talk about the Classic Era in the near future. I'll catch you all in the next one.